Welcome to my virtual world. I'm Marie and it's so lovely to be with you. The brain and the spinal cord make up the central nervous system, which is the master control system for the entire body. Every single cell in the body relies on signals to and from the brain to be functional. So it makes absolute sense that we want and need our brain to be in top order to maintain physical and mental balance. The cerebrospinal fluid, which is produced in the brain, bathes, feeds and protects both the spine and the spinal cord, and is a type of fluid similar to the lymphatic fluid. It circulates around the central nervous system and relies on spinal movement and the breath to encourage its journey up the spine into and around the brain and back down again. The deeper our breath, the more efficient that pumping system will be. Shallow breathing and a spine which is misaligned can hinder that flow. One way yoga practice can support the function of the brain is to boost the cerebrospinal circulation. Are you ready to learn how yoga practice can build a better brain as we move, motivate and meditate? With the focus being on the brain, we're going to start this practice with a rhythmic moving and breathing series. So let's come into position with a roll sausage, a towel or a blanket rolled up and lined up with the spine. You either will want it right to the tailbone, although you're not sitting on the roll, the pelvis is on the ground, and roll back on that to support the whole spine, neck and head. Or like me, you might prefer just having the roll under from the back of the waist through the ribs and neck and head. You might want a further additional height under the neck and head to keep that neck long and comfortable so you can relax the shoulders. Just settle here with the arms out to the side. Make sure you've got even distribution of weight between left and right sides, left and right buttocks, and bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to float wide. We are going to be here for a little while, so you might choose to have some support, some cushions or blocks under the knees to support them so that they are more comfortable. And let's just pause here to feel the body connecting with the floor, and with each breath out, allow the body to melt into the surface, so that the earth's holding you rather than you holding yourself on the floor. Just stay with the breath, observing the gentle rhythmic flow, observing that the front body's completely open, so breathing is fuller and deeper without even controlling it. Feel the freedom the diaphragm, that muscle, that mushroom-shaped breathing muscle has at the bottom of the ribs in this position. Feel how open the chest is. And know that this rhythmic breathing, moving series is fantastic for giving your brain a boost. It works on so many levels. The rhythmic moving and deeper breathing bring us into our central nervous system and induce a meditative state which is optimum for brain function. The coordinated patterns bring left and right hemispheres of the brain into balance and whole brain synchronization. And this is essential for physical coordination as well as improved cognitive function. Deep breathing stimulates the circulation of the cerebrospinal fluid, which in turn activates the lymphatic system of the brain, which are the glymphatics. And together they nourish and remove toxic waste from the brain. So let's get going and give this brain of ours some much needed TLC. It's really important that you bring your whole awareness to this practice so you can synchronize breath with the movement and all parts of the moving body with each other. So on the next breath in, let's bring the arms up and over, and as you breathe out, circle those arms out to the side and down. Away you go, breathing in, up and over, breathing out. Circle the arms out to the side and down. Keep going, keeping the arms as passive as possible. You're not forcing or straining. Just be really easy with this. On the next breath in, can you move in reverse? Circle the arms out to the side and up. And on the breath out, push the arms forward and down. Breathing in, out to the side and up. Breathing out, forward and down. Just stay with that. Feeling the chest open, feeling the breath deepen as you move the arms. And on the next breath in, let's just pause with the arms at shoulder level, bending the arms at the elbows to form cactus arms, bringing that right angle. And as you breathe out, push the forearms forward and down. And as you breathe in, bring the arms back and over. Breathing out, fingers above the head, diamond arms. Breathing in, back to cactus arms. Breathing out, elbows, forearms, palms to center. Can you lift the head to look down your center line, pulling the chin into the nook of the neck? On the next breath in, open the arms as you lengthen the head to ground. As you breathe out, forward and down. Breathe in, over and back. Breathe out, diamond arms. Breathe in, back to shoulder level. Breathe out, elbows, forearms, palms to center, curling the neck up if you can without strain. Breathing in, open wide, last time, lengthening the head down. Breathing out, forward and down. Breathing in, over and back. Breathing out, diamond arms. Breathing in, back to cactus arms. And on the next breath out, pull the forearms, elbows and palms to center. On the next breath in, just push the arms up to the ceiling as you lengthen the head down. Interlock the fingers, pushing the knuckles up to the ceiling, locking out the elbows, pulling the shoulders down towards the floor. Keeping the elbows locked, breathe in, pull the arms as far over as you can without bending either elbow. Breathing out, push the arms back to the vertical. Away you go. Breathing in, bringing those arms over each time. Breathing out, back to the vertical. Keep watching the arms and the hands, and keep the hands and fingers over your center line. To give the head more space, you might want to remove the heels of the palms away from each other. Just stay with this. Aligning the neck and the shoulders and the upper back. And on the next breath out, pause and reach the fingers up towards the ceiling, bringing the heels of the palm, the whole hand together now. And as you breathe in, we're opening the right arm out to shoulder level as the left arm comes overhead towards the floor behind you. And on the breath out, both hands move back to center, coming to center at precisely the same moment. Breathing in, left arm out to shoulder level as the right arm comes overhead. Let's alternate. Each breath out, come back to center. Each breath in, open out from center. Ensure that both left and right arms finish their movement at precisely the same moment. At the end of the breath in, at the end of the breath out. This requires your full focus. And on the next breath out, let's bring both hands together at your center line. This time as you breathe in, we're opening both arms wide as we bring the knees together. And as you breathe out, as you open the knees wide, bring the arms together. Away you go. Breathing in, arms wide, knees together. Breathing out, arms together, knees wide. Stay with this. Now you've got an added challenge to time the movement of upper body and lower body with each other, left and right sides with each other. Can you do it perfectly? And if it's not perfect, if the timing is off, at least know it's off and see if you can make adjustments. At the end of the next breath out, pause with the hands together and the knees wide, interlocking the fingers once more, but this time turning the palms out. Keep the elbows locked as best you can as you pull the shoulders down towards the floor. Breathe in, reach the arms all the way up and over, and on the breath out, we're pushing the arms all the way forward and down. Chest pump. Away you go. Feel the arms are like a bucket handle, moving from one side of the bucket to the other. And as that bucket handle lifts up and over, it pulls the chest open. Feel the arms opening and expanding and releasing the rib cage as you breathe in. Feel the contraction back on the breath out. Keep the fingers moving along your center line. And on the next breath out, just pause to change the interlock to bring your less dominant forefinger to the front of the pile, and away you go again. Turn the palms out and pump that chest. Big breaths now, in and out. Know that this is really helping pump the cerebrospinal fluid, as well as increase the blood flow and the lymphatic flow, the three circulatory systems of the body. Just by deeper rhythmic breathing. Stay with this. Feel the air moving right down to the base of your lungs. And on the next breath out, just pause, release the hands. And as you breathe in, slowly bring the knees together to your center line. Just gently ease off your roll and just lie back on the floor, keeping the neck long. You might choose to keep a blanket under the neck and head. Now reach out in a full body stretch. Push the legs out to the bottom of the mat as you reach the arms up over to the top of the mat. Keep the crown reaching up as the tail moves down. Feel the lower back ribs are grounding towards the floor. Reach out from center. Breathe and reach and stretch. Is the whole leg, foot and each toe active? Is the whole arm, hand and each finger active? Are you bringing the energy out from center? And on the breath out, lower the arms to the side of the trunk as you push the toes forward, scrunching the toes. And as you breathe in, reach the arms over, pulling the toes towards you, fanning the toes. Away you go. Pulling the pelvic floors up as you breathe out and scrunch the toes, relaxing the pelvic floors as you breathe in and fan the toes. Now let's do some cross patterning. On the next breath in, just reach the right arm over as you pull the left toes towards you. And as you breathe out and lower the right arm and left foot forward, bring the left arm and the right toes towards you. Away you go. Can you scrunch the toes that are pushing away towards the bottom of the mat? Can you extend the toes that are pulling towards you? Can you pull up your pelvic floors on the breath out? Can you relax the pelvic floors on the breath in? Stay with this, get perfect timing. And when you feel that the timing is right, can you start to bring the last movement in, turning the head away from the upcoming arm, finishing the movement of the head with each arm and leg. Breathe in, pull both arms over now, pull both feet towards you, reach into the heels, reach out from centre. And on the next breath out, lower both arms down, bend the legs at the knees and bring the feet hip width apart for a bridge pose series. Feet aligned, parallel with each other with the outer foot in line with the outer hips. Thighs parallel. You might even want to bring a block between the thighs if your thighs are always wanting to splay wide when you lift into the bridge pose. Arms to the side of the trunk. We'll continue with synchronized moving and breathing, but this time we'll be moving in the bridge pose. This time, as you breathe in, just raise the arms over. And on the breath out, as you lower the arms down, ground into both feet, lengthening the toes to the earth as you lift the pelvis, waist, ribs and chest up. As you breathe in, the arms come over and the ribs, the waist and the pelvis moves down. Each breath out, the arms come down, the pelvis comes up. Each breath in, the arms come over as the pelvis moves down. And again, the aim is to time the movement of your upper body with the lower body, so that the pelvis and arms finish their movement at precisely the same moment. Stay with this, getting the timing perfect. On the next breath out, as the arms come down and the pelvis comes up, pause. If you've got the capacity to interlock the fingers behind the back, let's do that. Let's interlock those fingers and ground as much of the arm, the outer wrist and the little fingers into the floor as possible. And using the grounding of the whole foot and as much of the arm as possible, can you breathe the front body open, breathing the chest towards the face, reaching the knees and the thighs down towards the bottom of the mat, feeling the opening out from the navel, out from centre. This series is great for strengthening and stretching the whole spine from the sacrum to the neck, relaxing tight muscles and improving blood circulation to the brain. Both the sacrum at the base of the spine and the occipital sort of junction in the neck acts as a pump for circulating the cerebrospinal fluid. It works to calm the brain and nervous system, thereby reducing anxiety, stress and depression. On the next breath in, just release those hands if they're held and slowly lower the ribs, the waist and the pelvis down. Bend the knees in towards the chest now and take hold of either the shins or the back of the thighs if you've got knee grumbles. And just gently hug those thighs into the trunk as you gently rock from side to side. Opening the spine in the opposite direction now, lengthening through the back of the pelvis and the lower back. This should feel nice. And then ground the feet on the floor with the knees still bent and open the arms out to shoulder level. And as you breathe in, roll both knees over to the right as you turn your head to the left, and on the breath out, roll the knees to the left as you turn your head to the right. Let's just iron out any gremlins as a result of that gentle back bend, the bridge pose. And then on the next roll over, roll all the way over, and we're coming up onto our hands and knees for a cat-cow curl. So let's just position ourselves carefully. Perfect alignment, center points of the wrist in line with the outer shoulder. Ground each finger and thumb pad on the knees under the hips with the outer knees, ankles and little toes in line with the outer hips. Lengthen through the shins, the top of the foot and the front of the ankle. And as you breathe in, push the tail up, pubis back, navel and ribs down, open the chest and reach the chin forward. Breathing out, tuck the tail, lift the pubis, navel, ribs and chest as you pull the chin in. away you go. Slowly, not racing. About 5 to 6 seconds on the breath in, 5 to 6 seconds on the breath out, feeling the spine being breathed and rolled. And know that this is another cerebrospinal fluid pump. It's working the two major pumps of the occiput and the sacral bone to establish that healthy flow. The flexion and the extension motion of these two joints at the top and the bottom of the spine is critical to help pump this fluid. Feel the spine arcing first one way and then the other, knowing that this movement also helps to keep the spine supple and nicely aligned, which is another key component of healthy cerebrospinal flow. And then when you're ready, let's just pause in a neutral line where the spine is parallel with the floor. You might need to tuck the tail slightly to lengthen through the back of the waist. We're going to do a cross patterning series now where we cross the center line. So we're going to be coming on to balancing on one knee and hand. So just make sure that you've got enough padding under the knees. Again, we don't want to sacrifice the knees for a healthy brain. Let's keep everything healthy, hey? From here, we're just going to move one limb at a time. So keep the shoulders as level as possible, the hips as level as possible, the waist long and the neck in line with the spine. And as you breathe in, reach the right arm wide out to the shoulder level. And as you breathe out, slowly lower it down. Breathing in, reach the left arm wide out to shoulder level. Breathing out, bring it down. Now keeping the right knee bent, breathing in, open the right leg out at the hip. And on the breath out, bring the knee down. Breathing in, bring the left bent leg out at hip level. Breathing out, bring it down. Now we're going to reach long. On the next breath in, reach the right arm forward to the bottom of the mat. Keep the neck in line with the spine, shoulders level. Breathing out, down. Breathing in, left arm long, reach out from center. Breathing out, down, without disturbing the hips or the waist. Breathing in, right leg, reach it back. Keep the leg locked, don't be tempted to keep it bent. Breathing out, down. Breathing in, left leg, reach it out, lock out that knee. Breathing out, down. Now we're going to bring all those movements together in that cross-patterning action, cross-crawling action. We're going to go wide before we go long. And between the wide and the long, we're going to curl the elbow and knee into center, or you might just choose to bring the hand and knee to brush the floor if that's easier for you and more comfortable for you. Let's have a go. On the next breath in, open the right arm and the left knee wide. As you breathe out, bring the elbow and the knee to your center line or brush the floor. Breathing in, let's reach long. Breathing out, knee and hand down to the floor simultaneously. Breathing in, left arm, right leg wide. Breathing out, pull into your center line, elbow and knee together. Breathe in, reach long. Breathing out, moving down with the hand and the knee. Breathe in, right arm, left knee wide. Breathe out, elbow and knee to center. Breathe in, reach long, feel for your alignment. Breathe out, knee and hand ground simultaneously. Breathe in, left arm, right knee wide. Breathe out, come to center. Breathe in, open long. Breathing out, ground simultaneously, right and left legs. Last round. Breathe in, right leg, left knee wide. Breathing out, come to center. Breathing in, reach long. If you can, we're going to hold this as we breathe in and out and feel for the alignment and feel that we are in fact reaching long and not just holding the limbs up. And on the breath out, ground hand and knee down. Breathing in, let's open out the left arm and the right knee wide. Breathing out, pull and curl into center before breathing in, reaching long. Let's hold and breathe and reach out from center. And on the next breath out, bring the hands and the knees down. Walk the knees wide. And let's push the buttocks back and open into a comfortable cradle, keeping the arms active and taking the hips as close to the heels as your knees and hips and ankles and groins will allow. I want you to have the head grounded, the forehead grounded in this pose. So bring a block or a blanket if the head doesn't quite touch the floor. Just staying here and breathing here. You might want to release tension in the wrists. The cross-crawling action that we've just done has continued to build that bridge between the right and the left hemispheres of the brain and allowed for those electrical impulses and information to pass freely between the two hemispheres. And now this child's pose is another great pose for inducing relaxation. So it's really important to have the head grounded either on the earth, a block or a cushion as it calms the eyes and the brain. Just stay here and breathe, feeling your inward breath opening up the back ribs, then gently lengthening the front body and opening the chest as you breathe out. This really helps to relax your mind and whole nervous system. From here, we're going to rock forward for a dog pose. And we're going to turn the toes under, bringing the knees and feet hip width apart. Again, adjust accordingly if dog isn't right for you today at ground level. Either come to the wall, have the chair like we did last week, or bring your elbows down to the surface or hands on blocks. We're going to breathe out and open into our dog down, pushing up from the whole hand into the outer hips, keeping the knees bent so that we can feel that we can lengthen that spine and flatten the back body, keeping the chest open. You can start to pedal the legs if and when you're ready, and know that in dog down the head is lower than the heart, which improves blood flow to the brain. So open up that chest and breathe fully and deeply so it's good, rich, oxygenated blood. This position is great for lifting your energy and improving focus and memory. It's also good for an awful lot of other things, but the focus is on the brain today. Reach both heels down as you lift the sit bones now. Stay here and breathe. And on the next breath in, slowly, don't drop down. Slowly start to bring those knees down to ground, directly under the hips, grounding both left and right knees down to the floor. We're going to move into a side plank variation. So let's just bring and reach the right foot back in line with the left knee, bringing the right heel in line with the left knee if you can, turning the right toes to the long front edge of the mat and reaching from the outer hip down to the outer leg, into the outer ankle and the little toe side of the foot. You're grounding that little toe side of the foot into the earth as you lift the inner ankle and instep. This really switches on the leg. Can you feel that? Lifting that right hip on top of the left. Tuck the tail to switch on your core. Can you open the right shoulder on top of the left and reach that right arm up? If you feel balance, keep the hand on the hip if balance isn't quite there. Now, if you're still with me, turn the palm to look to the narrow front edge of your mat. And as you breathe in, reach out in a diagonal line of force. Breathing and opening. Really ground and anchor into that right foot. Anchor into that left hand, pushing the left hand into the earth as you reach the right hand into space. Breathe in, reach that right hand back to or arm back to the vertical. And if your hips feel strong enough on the next breath in, can you raise the right leg to the horizontal? This will really test your balance now. Stay here. Well done. Breathing out, hand down, knee down. Can you walk the knees wide and push back into the cradle just for a moment? You might need to take some pressure off the wrists and iron out some tension by wrist rotation. One great brain gain from practicing balancing exercises like this side plank variation is that they promote greater neuroplasticity, which keeps the brain supple and young and enhances higher brain function. The high level of inner concentration required in yoga balancing postures makes them some of the most meditative poses to practice. That's because when we balance, we're challenging so many internal systems of the body and mind at once. Let's rock forward and do that side plank on the other side now. Bring the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And can you reach the left foot back now, bringing the left heel in line with the right knee, turning the toes to the long front edge of your mat. Reaching down the outer left leg from the outer hip into the outer ankle and the little toe side of the foot. Really ground into that foot. This will help give you stability. We need that firm base for balancing. Tuck the tail to switch on the core. This will also help with stability. Can you sit the left hip on top of the right, the left shoulder on top of the right? If you feel ready, reach the left arm on top of the right and feel a line of force through the arms and the chest, the spine, neck and head. Turn the left palm to look at the narrow front edge of your mat. Now, reach out in that diagonal line of force as you breathe in and feel that delicious division of stretch from the sides of the waist down into the outer edge of the foot, from the side of the left side of the waist up into the fingers. Breathe here. Should feel really yummy. And on the next breath in, bring that left arm up to the vertical. If you feel ready, breathe in. Let's move the left leg to the horizontal. Keep reaching out into all limbs. Breathe. Ground into that right hand and leg and reach out into space with the left hand and leg, with the tail and the crown. And on the breath out, let's come down and push back and come once more into that cradle pose. Let's just pause once more to release any tension from the wrists. And then we're going to push up into a dog down. So rock forward, turn the toes under, and on the breath out, let's open into that dog down position. Taking the head lower than the heart once more, knowing that dog down is a gentle inversion. Now, can you gracefully, deliberately walk the hands back towards the feet, bending the knees and hanging over the top of the legs in that forward hanging position? And just pause here, the head still lower than the heart, so it's very good for stimulating that blood flow to the brain, and also for calming the brain, calming the mind. And on the next breath out, let's roll the spine up, vertebra by vertebra. And let's breathe and move the spine through its full range of movements to open and elongate it, which is imperative for, again, unimpeded cerebrospinal flow. We want an aligned spine for that. So standing firm in that perfect postural alignment, with the pelvic bow level, the waist long, the chest open, breathe in, ground into the feet and reach the arms up. Breathe out, let's twist to the right. Breathing in, slowly pulling back to center before breathing out, twisting to the left. Breathing in, pull back to center. Now breathe out, lean to the right. Breathe in, pull back to center. Breathe out, lean to the left. Breathe in, pull back to center. And on the breath out, let's dive forward, just to the horizontal or towards the horizontal. You don't have to be at horizontal. What I'd like to see is that your spine is long and aligned. It's not rounded at the waist. We're hinging from the top of the hips. We're grounding into both feet and reaching up into the sit bones as we reach out into the fingers, the crown and the tail. And on the breath in, let's pull all the way back to that standing position, bringing the hands together if you can, arcing the neck back if it's willing. Breathing out, pull the hands to your center line in that Anjali Mudra position with the hands grounded at center, elbows wide. Breathing in, open the palms, the arms and the chest. Pause here to reach out from center. And on the breath out, bring the hands to the lower back, bringing the little fingers as close to your center line as you can. Elbows in, shoulder blades squeezing into the spine, towards the spine now. Breathe in, bend the knees, lift the chest, tuck the tail and arc back and look back. We're staying back and we're breathing back, and on the breath out, we're coming all the way forward and down. Let's just hang, keeping those knees bent. Some of you might need some blocks. I should have mentioned that before we came to this position, because what I'd like you to do now is either using the hands on the floor or using the hands on your blocks. Some of you might need a surface higher than your blocks. I want you to come up to a straight spine position. So flatten off that back. So have whatever surface you need to the height so you can have the back completely flat. We're going to do a twist now. So we always twist a nice elongated spine. Never try twisting a slumped spine. It's not going to feel nice. When you're ready, ground into that right hand, bending the right knee, and we're going to rotate to the left. Turn the face to look left or up if the neck is comfortable as you reach the arm up, opening the chest to the left, keeping the spine centered on the pelvis between the legs. Don't let the spine pull wide. And on the breath out, just lower that hand down and realign the spine. And on the next breath in, bend the left knee as you ground the left hand and reach the right arm up. Keep the hand on the waist or the hip if that's more comfortable. Focus on keeping the spine long and bringing a line of force through the arms and the chest. How much rotation can you get? Is the spine still centered on the pelvis between the legs? Don't let it pull left. Breathing out, bring the hands down. Now, you can stay with your blocks if you want to. I want you to bend the knees, and we're going to either ground the hands on the floor or keep them on the blocks, and we're going to push back into that, or walk the hands back into that dog down position. Keep the sit bones lifting and the back flat. Just feel that nice dog down position and just take some deep breaths for your brain right here. And when you're ready, slowly once more lower onto our hands and knees. Okay, we're going to do a little crawling now, a little bear crawl, a very basic crawl. There are many different crawling patterns. We are just going to do this very basic bear crawl. But you need to make sure that you have enough padding under your knees. As I've said earlier, don't sacrifice the knee joints in a bid for a healthier brain. It's really important. Take yourself back to the bottom of the mat before we start. So bring the knees to the very bottom of the mat, so you've got a longer extension to crawl through. And make sure you're aligned. So I want you to have your spine parallel with the floor, with the head and neck in line with the spine. And know that you're going to lead with the crown going forward and the tail when you're going back. So you'll want to drop the head, keep it in line with the spine. And we're going to move opposite hand and knee, and they're going to ground at exactly the same moment. So let's get ready to go. Are you ready? Right hand, left knee, forward. Then left hand, right knee. Forward, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow it down if you lose coordination. Ground opposite hand and knee simultaneously. Don't drop the head. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back, 2, 3, 4. Forward, 2, 3, 4. Back, 2, 3, 4. If you get lost, just slow it down. Don't get frustrated. Play with this. This is meant to be a bit of fun. Okay, let's leave the crawling here. Let's push back into cradle, grounding that head on the floor. Your brain might feel quite frazzled after that crawling. And you're probably asking yourself, what on earth has crawling got to do with brain yoga? Well, actually, it's got a lot to do with the brain. When you crawl, you're pressing, it's like a resetting, you're pressing a reset button on your central nervous system and revisiting mobility patterns you learnt as a baby. Crawling patterns not only require motor skills, they also involve the vestibular system, the sensory system associated with balance and spatial orientation. It's like resetting the central loop in the nervous system. It brings all the parts involved in coordination, moving and reflex stability into synchronization. And if you ever feel stuck or blocked physically, mentally, emotionally, crawling can shift that blocked feeling. So get down on your hands and knees. Make sure you've got enough padding there and crawl. And see, it will make you feel balanced. It will shift things. From here, let's open back into that forward hanging position. And then on the breath out, let's roll the spine up, coming to that perfect postural aligning position. And we're going to just have a go at a standing cross-crawling pattern and balancing again. So standing firm. We've done this before in this series. We're going to start to move elbow and knee to our centre line. And remember, you don't have to touch elbow and knee, but the key factor in this one is keeping the spine extended and vertical. So you're not rounding forward as you bend the knee and elbow into centre. So keeping that nice long line of force with the crown reaching and the feet planting into the earth. Breathe in, open the arms into cactus arms. And when you're ready, as you breathe, let's bring opposite knee and elbow towards our centre line. Away you go. Again, try and move with ease. Don't launch or lunge forward. Just move gently, breathing fully and deeply. Rest when you've done enough. And then let's all rest, hey. And let's just pause to recenter ourselves with both feet grounding. Because I'd like to take this to the next stage so that the balance is challenged still further. What we're going to do is open the right leg out to the right so that the big toe is just brushing the floor, and we're going to reach the left arm out in a diagonal line of force through from the left fingers to the right toes. Bring your right arm out to the side. That's just a counterbalance. It's not really doing anything. It's just helping you counterbalance. Now once more, just see if you can hover off that right big toe, leaning slightly out to the left. As you breathe out, bring elbow and knee to centre. And as you breathe in, open out into that diagonal line of force. Breathing out, come to centre. Breathing in, open. Try and move smoothly. Breathing out, centre. Breathing in, open. Once more. Breathing out, come to centre. Breathing in, open. Now, can you bring that right foot and wrap the right leg behind the left leg? Can you bring both hands on the hips, grounding into both feet as best you can, bringing the toes to track forward, the heels to point back, grounding into the inner edge of the feet as well as the outer edge of the feet, ground into those big toes. Now, can you reach that right arm up? So keeping that right hip forward, that right hand reaching away, that right foot grounded, we're going to pulse in a side pulse. But you're not pulsing from your shoulder or your waist, you're pulsing from the very top of your femur bone, your thigh bone. So let's go. Keep that right hip moving forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pause. Another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then just gently release the hand down. Keeping the legs crossed, we're going to gently fold forward. And again, you might need blocks to come forward onto for more balance. Keeping both feet grounded. Let's just hang here. This will give you a very different hip stretch. Just breathe here. And again, feel how you've got to be aware of your grounding to balance. Let the head and the arms go. And on the breath out, let's gently roll up. Unravel your legs. Give those legs a kick, flick, shake. And then just let's release any tension that might be in the upper body by letting the arms flail as you twist. Are you ready to try that on the other side? So let's come back to standing. Now we're going to open that left leg out to the left, and we're going to reach the right arm in a diagonal to bring that line of force from the fingers through to the left toes. Now bring your left arm out to shoulder level as a counterbalance. And are you ready to just hover off those left toes and see if you can keep them hovering for the next little series? As you breathe out, knee and elbow to center. And as you breathe in, open in that diagonal line. Balance. Breathe out, slowly moving to center. Breathe in, opening out. Don't be racing. Breathing out, center. Breathe in, open. Last time. Breathe out, center. Breathe in, open. Now lower that right hand down and wrap your left leg all the way round behind the right, bringing those left toes to face forward and the heel to point back. Planting weight firmly in both feet. You want at least 70% of your weight in that left foot. Now, keeping the right hand on the hip, stretch that left arm up. And remember, you're pulsing from the top of your leg bone, your femur bone. Let's pulse to the side. Keep that left hip coming forward. Away we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pause. Let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pause. Now come upright and bring that left hand down, and keeping the hips parallel with the front of your mat, let's fold forward now. Again, have blocks or a surface, even a chair to come forward onto if that feels more comfortable and allows you to balance more readily. Can you keep weight into both feet? Can you keep weight into the balls and the big toes of the feet, the inner heels? Can you stay here and breathe? Feel the stretch on the hips, the outer legs. And then on the breath out, let's roll the spine up. Give those legs a kick, flick, shake, and when you're ready, let the arms flail, releasing any tension. And next we're going to come into a simple cross-leg position, and we're going to be here for a while. So make sure that you come into a position where you can be comfortable sitting for an extended period, maybe even more than 5 minutes. So have whatever surface you need to. A chair is fine, but we want to be able to sit upright. You're not slumping back with a cup of coffee in your hand. We want that spine to be long, and we want you to be sat on the sit bones. When you're ready, we're going to have a look at alternate nostril breathing, nadi shodhana. This is a fantastic breath for the brain, which will I'll explain as you're doing it the benefits that you'll be reaping. But let's just have a look at the hand position first, and there are many different hand positions you can use too, because we're going to be blocking off one nostril as we breathe in through the other and vice versa. So you can use your forefinger and thumb, the ring finger and thumb, the index finger and the long finger, the thumb, ring finger and little finger with the index finger and long finger anchored gently towards the brows. I actually use Vishnu mudra, which is the thumb and the ring and the little finger to do this pose. But this actually, again, it's a bit of brain yoga, requires a little bit of mobility in the hands. So your hands might not want to play at this one today. You might have to experiment to find what works for you. The key is to find a position that is comfortable and not a distraction to the breath work that we'll be doing. Use your right hand. Gently block off your right nostril and breathe in through the left. Then block off both nostrils. Pause before releasing the right nostril and breathing out. Breathe in through the right nostril. Pause before releasing the left nostril and breathing out. In through the left. Pause. Out through the opposite nostril, the right. You're breathing in through the nostril that you've just breathed out of. You block off both nostrils before breathing out through the opposite. Can you find a rhythm? In through one nostril, pause, block off both nostrils, out through the opposite nostril. In through the nostril that you've just breathed out of. Can you lower the gaze and close the eyes so you bring the focus in? Can you be easy and gentle with this breathing exercise? In through one nostril, pause, out through the opposite nostril. Again, you don't want to be gripping your nose. It's the lightest touch with the fingers to literally just close the airflow. And obviously, if you've got nasal congestion, this isn't going to be possible for you today. If you feel claustrophobic during this practice or short of breath, just release the nose and just resume normal breathing for a little while until you feel ready to rejoin the alternate nostril breathing practice. As you breathe, feel the position of your spine, ears, over shoulders, over hips, with the head just gently bowed, the eyes closed. Can you get a rhythm going so that if you're breathing in to say a count of 5, see if you can hold for a count of 5 before breathing out for the same count. The key is that you are easy with this, that the breathing isn't distressed or forced, that you're not becoming agitated in body or mind. Can you stay with this gentle breathing practice and know that this alternate nostril breathing is excellent to calm and center the mind and bring the body and mind together. It's another powerful exercise to harmonize the left and right hemispheres of the brain. and it balances and purifies energy channels in the body, which are called the nadis. It's a really fantastic tool for calming the nervous system, releasing accumulated stress and anxiety, and inducing a relaxed state of mind. This cleansing breath improves concentration and focus, which makes it an excellent precursor to meditation. And of course, there have been many studies that have proven the positive and profound effects of meditative practice on the brain and the nervous system. The positive aspects of meditation simply can't be overstated. On the next breath out through the right nostril, just release the nostrils and bring both hands onto the knees or thighs, and just resume normal breathing in and out through both nostrils. Is one nostril more dominant than the other? Hopefully you've brought balance. Know that domination between the nostril breathing shifts during the course of the day. Just feel the breath come and go. Feel your seated position. Feel your state of mind. Is it more willing to sit here with self and be still and easy? On the next breath in, just open the eyes and gently, you might have to turn, but make sure you've got enough space behind you to roll back. Just settle yourself into a lying position. Make sure you've got enough space to reach the arms overhead, and we're just going to finish. We started with rhythmic moving and breathing. We're going to finish with rhythmic moving and breathing, timing the upper body and the lower body movements with each other, with the breath, seeing if we can get it perfect. On the next breath in, as you reach both arms overhead, bend the right knee towards the chest. And on the breath out, as you lower both arms down, straighten the right leg towards the vertical. Breathing in, as the arms come over, the knee bends to the chest. As you breathe out, as the arms come down, the leg comes down to the floor. Let's bring the left leg up now. Breathing in, the arms come over, the left knee bends to the chest. Breathing out, as the arms come down, the left leg straightens towards the vertical. Breathing in, as the arms come over, the knee bends to the chest. Breathing out, as the arms come down, the leg straightens to the floor. Away you go, alternating the legs. With each breath in, the arms come over and the knee bends to the chest. With each breath out, the arms come down and the leg straightens first to the vertical, and on the second breath out, it comes down to the floor. Synchronize the movement of the arms and the leg with each other, with the breath. Finishing all movements at the end of the breath in, at the end of the breath out. And on the next breath out, as the leg straightens to the vertical and the arms come down. Take hold of that right leg. Let's do it with the right leg. So move through until you've cycled the right leg to the vertical. Now, keeping the shoulders relaxed and the neck long, you might find that you need a folded blanket under the head to be comfortable in this. Start to straighten the leg as best you can, keeping the outer right hip shunting down towards the bottom of the mat. If there's more stretch left, be really gentle and easy with this. Slide the hand up towards the back of the leg. Don't force or strain. Be really gentle. Can you reach into both heels and pull the toes towards you of both legs? Can you push into both thighs, pushing the thighs away from you? And on the next breath in, the arms are going to come over and that right knee is going to bend to the chest. And as you breathe out, lower the arms down and reach the right leg down to the floor. Breathing in, as the arms come over, bend the left knee to the chest. As you breathe out, take the arms down and straighten the left leg to the vertical, taking hold of the back of the left leg. And again, keeping the neck long and the shoulders relaxing down to the floor. Keeping the outer left hip shunting down to the bottom of the mat so you keep length through that left side of the trunk. See how well you can straighten that left leg, drawing it closer towards the body if there's stretch left, drawing the hands up the back of the leg towards the foot. Just be gentle, be easy, no force or strain. Breathing here, reaching into the heels, pulling the toes towards you, pushing the thighs away. And as you breathe in, bend that left knee as the arms come overhead. And on the breath out, as the arms come down, straighten that left leg to the floor. On the next breath in, open both arms out to shoulder level, bend the knees up. Now let's just finish with a gentle rolling twist to iron out any gremlins, to feel our spine. Breathing in, roll the knees to the right as you turn your head to the left. Breathing out, swing the knees to the left as you turn your head to the right. Breathe and roll and twist and feel. And then when you're ready, let's just lie flat so we can relax. Maybe after the chair session last week, you want to bring a chair under the back of the legs. That's fine too. Have whatever you need to be able to relax in that shavasana position. And just allow yourself to settle. Make sure you're warm enough. Lowering the gaze and closing the eyes, letting the eyes be heavy and sink back into the skull. Letting the head be heavy and sink back into the floor. Letting go of the whole body, surrendering your full weight to gravity, giving yourself to the earth. Trusting the earth to support and hold you completely. Spend a minute or so scanning the body, releasing, holding, and tensions. And then trust that the body is safe and supported, and bring the focus deeper. And let's just have a look at our state of mind at the end of that yoga practice, the yoga practice that focused on the brain. Has your mind settled? Is it more willing to move towards stillness? Is it easier to be focused on this activity? to stay with the process, feeling the process, observing yourself relax. Don't judge or analyse. Just feel, knowing that relaxation comes when you let go, when you surrender, when you trust. What's your state of mind at the end of this practice? Hopefully you have a razor-sharp focus, heightened awareness, yet you feel relaxed and cruisy. I hope you are feeling enthusiastic, upbeat and ready to kick into the rest of the day. Namaste, dear ones. I'm sending so much love, and remember, until the next viral video, 2 stretches every waking hour.